Hey guys, what is up? I decided to join the Gru Curve Sword Revolution, the Sticky Bandit strat, and this is actually its maiden voyage, and you can see I invade a guy here. It's hard to know what really possessed somebody to pick a name like that, so this guy's already kind of got one strike against him as I come into his world. Obviously, he's got the Iron Round Shield and Straight Sword. I think that's the Lothric Knight Straight Sword. So I figure he's probably going to be a tryhard of some type, probably a parry spammer. I am not disappointed. He is most definitely a parry spammer. And there you can see I'm unlocking just to try to avoid any of his random parries, mix up the timing. I have to say the curve sword was amazing, and I can't believe I haven't been using this weapon more often. I am a curve sword scrub. This is quite literally the very first invasion that I had with the weapon, so I expect I'll get quite a bit better with it, but for right now I suck. And one thing that kind of sucks is I have no kick. With the smaller curved swords, it's that flip kick, which I'm sure has utility in here. I threw out a third R1 because I'm trying to mix things up a little bit more. I don't want him to get comfy thinking I won't ever do it. I want him always worried about it, because that third swing on a curved sword can definitely add some pressure. Now, especially here in the early going, he's spamming parries so much that it's probably not worth the risk of swinging 3 times most of the time, but on an occasion you got to throw it out there. And obviously here he switches over to Siegbrows, so I know this guy is going to stop at absolutely nothing to win this fight. And one of the concerns you have here is he in New Game Plus? Because if he's in New Game Plus, his Estus heal for a hell of a lot more, and he's got a hell of a lot more of them. So I'm just trying to hit him with some good pressure, but with the Siegbrows there, and he catches me with a couple R2s, which I totally saw coming, but it's really hard to deal with the pressure of a parry spammer and somebody that's really able to out heal you and look out for their straight sword R1s. It's just, you can't focus on so many things all at once. It's almost like, something's got to give. And to me, the risk of getting parried is by far the greatest risk I'm facing. And so that's the one that I'm most focused on. But as a consequence, you can kind of see my gameplay slip in some other spots. And right now, he's making it pretty easy to punish him just because he isn't swinging nearly as much. He's mostly just trying to rely on getting a parry. And as long as he's doing that, it's pretty easy for me to just get in his face and really try to pressure him. But you'll see here in a minute, he starts mixing it up a little bit better. He starts using some more R1s out of his straight sword. And here, obviously, he switches over to the dagger. And he's equally predictable with his dagger play. I hit him twice, and then he typically quick steps out and then tries to hit me again. And I could swing twice, wait for the quick step, here, and then swing again after the quick step. But the problem is, if he R1s out of a stun lock, he's going to win the trade. And so just to protect myself against that trade, I go ahead and keep mashing R1, even though I know most likely he's just going to quick step away and I'm just going to burn stamina uselessly. So you've probably no doubt noticed that I've been keeping a counter of the amount of Estus that he's been using, as well as the Siegbrows, because at first, in the heat of battle, I wasn't able to keep track of it too well, but it was clear to me that he had quite a lot of them. And so initially I did this because I was curious. Was he in New Game Plus? Was he in regular New Game? And I'm not sure exactly how many shards are available to you here if you keep like the Abyss Watchers open, but you go into the Cathedral of the Deep. But I don't think it's more than about 10. Maybe you could get 11. I'm not sure. I think typically folks here are going to have like 8 or 9, depending on whether they've grabbed the shard down below near the Crucifixion Woods bonfire. But we'll see something interesting here in a little bit. The poison here, I think, is an interesting strategy. I don't know how much pressure it really adds, but I noticed he didn't cure the poison the whole time, and I think there's a reason for that. And I don't think it's necessarily related to whether or not he had the moss on him. I just don't think he cared very much. So now we're obviously in New Game Plus territory. I don't think there's any way that he could possibly have 12 Estus at this point in the game. And finally he gets me with a parry. It was kind of inevitable in a sense, and I try not to let this bother me too much because, you know, if you're committed to just throwing those things out there constantly, you're probably going to get lucky eventually, especially when you've got a weapon that can pressure a little bit, that makes it harder for me to get in your face and kind of reliably reaction roll all of your swings. So obviously the title of this video is related to twinking. In situations like this, I probably could have won this fight without twinking, but I think it's incredibly unlikely for reasons I'll talk about here in just a little bit. Obviously, it goes both ways. You can run into situations where you can completely overpower hosts, but in those situations, I generally go a little bit easier on them anyway. But a situation like this would have probably been completely unwinnable. And here, obviously, we're at 15 Estus now, the most that you could possibly have, even if you went all the way through New Game Plus. So at this point, he should be out and would be forced to rely on Siegbrow. And here I was L1 waggling, and unfortunately, I end up blocking. And once you block one, you kind of sign up for the second. Nearly got my guard busted. And then he lands another parry. And I think I'm getting a little sloppy here. I'm getting a little predictable just because the fight's been wearing on for so long at this point. And this guy's like nearly unstoppable. So I switch over to the shield here. And here I know he's going to try to go for the roll catch timing because he's been doing it so consistently. And I think about going for a parry here, but I decide against it because if I whiff it, if I get punished, I can't really heal. I want to wait till I'm at full health, so in case something goes wrong. And here I go for a charge start too, just to see, because parry spammers usually can't resist taking a whack at it. But here he actually shows some discipline. I suppose it's because he's at low health. And look how much he's healed at this point. 16 Estus. He undoubtedly has consumables turned on where they're infinite. He's healed over 10,000 HP. If I weren't twinking, I would at most have 1,500 to 12 or to 2,000 HP of healing available to me. And there I see the roll catch coming again. I'm able to get the parry. And thankfully, because he's poisoned, he can't escape here. Well, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care now.